pleasure, man. This is awesome. I'm so excited.
Thank you. Let's get it, dog.
No, nice of you to be down to do this in person.
Of course.
So when Jason was just like, "Oh yeah, we could like make it happen in person," I was like, "Oh yeah, 100%. Let's do
Dude,
it."
I was stoked. I was like, damn, he's down to do it. Let's go.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Because I'm so used to like Zoom is nice. It's a good way because especially if I'm talking to artists like you, everyone's different places.
Yeah.
So it's the easiest. But if we can make it happen in person, it's always real cool.
It's so much better. Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels
And,
like a real conversation.
And it's always interesting too with like meeting, like, I'm a huge fan of yours. So, it's like a bit of nerves coming in. It's just like, it's like, I hope he, I hope he's cool.
Come on, let's get it.
Hope he likes me and stuff like that. But like, yeah, your vibe is awesome, man. You're super chill and just like having a good time. It's awesome.
Cool. That's all we can do.
Yeah, man. And so the first question I usually ask off this, because the podcast is called Basement Kids. I kind of named it that just with like nostalgia of growing up. Me, my friends, my band, we always just grew up doing shit in the basement. That was like our hangout area. For you growing up, what was that? Was it a basement? Was it a garage?
It was an attic.
It was an attic?
It was an unfinished attic. Yeah.
That's a twist.
Yeah, the opposite.
The opposite.
Yeah, my mom was out one day and my brother and I were like, we want to move our bedroom up to this unfinished attic. And then we also set up a band situation that turned into the studio.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So yeah, that was my basement.
Nice. So your brother, how old is he? Older than you? Younger?
Yes, he's gotta be 34, 35.
Oh, okay. Same age as me.
Let's go.
Rock on.
Yeah, he was a few years older, but he was in like 3 grades above.
Oh, okay. You guys were pretty tight growing up then?
Yeah, we shared a room. Yeah.
Oh yeah, shared a room. That's cool. And like, did both you kind of get into music together, or was it kind of just your thing?
No, he kind of got into music after I started, and we started playing in bands together. Like he plays a mean bass.
Nice.
My guy Joe.
Sweet.
Yeah. So then we started bonding like that, and it became a way to hang out.
Nice. It wasn't too much controversy like playing with your brother in a band.
That was awesome. There was a time my sister started playing trumpet, and she was in a band with us too.
No shit.
Family band.
Trumpet. That's awesome. One like ska band style.
Yeah, it was like ska, folky.
That's cool.
It's fun.
And did all you guys kind of grow up getting into the same type of music, or did everyone kind of have their own genre they kind of got into?
I feel like, when you're in like 5th grade playing music, it's like everybody's different. Like the drummer wants to be in Metallica, you're trying to be in like the Misfits, and the music reflects it. The bass player's trying to be in the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
It's always like, the idols, right? Of the instrument.
Yeah. You're like, oh, this will work. And then you listen to the music now and you're like, well, it sounds like that.
It's true. It's true. Yeah. I remember growing up, like I listened to a lot of classic rock and stuff because of my dad. And those were a lot of the songs I first learned was like Ozzy, AC/DC, all that shit. But then like I got huge into Blink-182, Green Day. And then any other guitarist I was around for a long time, it was kind of the same influence. They just liked Led Zeppelin and all this shit. And I was like the one guy, they're like, why are you just playing simple power chords? Like, what are you doing?
Dude, I heard that the Ramones they're like, we're trying to be in a band like Led Zeppelin. It was just their version,
Oh, there you go.
It's crazy how that,
Yeah. Yeah. You kind of remember having a conversation with someone about that. You kind of want to imitate these artists you like, but then along the way, you find out what your thing is.
Yeah.
Right. And then you turn it into that and kind of stick with it.
Dude, and that's I literally heard this the other day. I was at like an art show and the guy talking was like, the promise you make when making a project should change because as you do it, you can't just stick to the same thing, So it's like that influence. Yeah, I agree with that.
True. Like, and I guess like for you, when did you kind of find your style?
Man, I feel like I just found my style like 6 months ago.
Yeah, it's always changing.
It just changed. Like, yeah, it's like I feel like the more I work with other people and then like take time to figure out what I'm trying to do, it hones it in more. But I'm always trying to figure out a way to like what's the point of doing my stuff if I'm not like thinking consciously like how do I want this to sound,
Yeah, true enough.
I feel like when I first started the No Love stuff, I definitely didn't think about it as much, which I kind of want to get back to. I kind of just want to make stuff and not overthink it. But I feel like the longer I've done it, it's like, oh, I want to incorporate these things because that's the No Love sound,
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
I guess you can get to a point of overthinking it. And then it becomes a pain in the ass to try and get something out, right?
Dude, 100%. Because when you work with other people, it's like you're like the person that's like, this is cool, this isn't cool. Like you're more definitive, and then when it's you, it's like, oh no.
That's fair. Yeah, you're your own worst critic, right?
Yeah, I'll be like, where was the guy that was here yesterday? I need him.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you that too because I know, like, you produce and you write a lot for other people, work with others. I was going to ask for yourself, your own stuff. Is it always good to have like someone from the outside come in and kind of like help or listen to your stuff, or do you try and just kind of maintain just you?
I think it
writing
depends. I
everything?
mean, a lot of the songs are like me and my best friends. We all
Mhm.
moved out to LA together and stuff. We're all in
Yeah,
a band together. We'll kind of just write about what we're going through.
yeah,
I think like the thing that it is like we just make it very personal to like what we're going through and like a group of friends is going through that yeah, it's nice to get like extra ears on it, you know. Or if I'm in my room writing something alone, it's nice to be like, is this whack to
yeah.
to like a friend, you know?
True enough. Yeah,
I would say it's nice having the core group of friends kind of
yeah,
check it out and be like, okay, cool, this is it.
yeah. Definitely. And like, how old were you when you got into more messing around with like producing and making your own beats and stuff?
I would say like 18. I like
Oh,
finished high
okay.
school and started making beats.
And up till then, it was just like playing guitar in bands and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I played guitar in bands, and then I was playing cello in orchestra, and I was playing piano in jazz band,
That's
and
crazy.
it kind of was reaching this point where when I was about to go to college, it's like, am I going to go to college for cello like it's set up? And
Because you had like what was it? A scholarship for it, right?
yeah,
That's crazy.
it was like 2 weeks before. I was like, damn, I think I'm gonna produce. Like, I don't know if I want to go to college for cello.
What made you kind of like shoot? Like, what flicked the switch there for producing?
I think it was like I had my teacher, so I had lessons for cello, I had lessons for piano. And then I was always like after doing like those extracurricular activities, going and playing in my band with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I had my teachers kind of be like, to be a master at one thing, you can't be a jack of all trades because then you're a master of none. You have to hone it in.
Yeah.
I was like, that's just not who I am. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not someone who wants to do one thing, you know. There's got to be something that can incorporate all this, and that's the one thing, you know.
Gotcha.
And then I heard the Carter Four by Lil Wayne.
Oh, okay.
There were strings all in the music and stuff. I was like, dude, I'll just make beats. Like, this is perfect.
True enough. It must have been quite the task, like when you first started doing that, or was it? Did it
Dude,
come
my
just
first
pretty
beats
easy?
were terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, awful.
Do you still have those?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, they're terrible.
It's so cool when you like still have like your first like tracks that you've done, and you like,
Dude, I have friends that
listen
are
back,
like, dude, I rapped on the third beat you ever made. I'm like,
oh, that's so funny, man. That's awesome. Well, yeah, like, because how long would you say it took you before you kind of found your groove with that?
ooh. I would say what did it, like maybe like a year in, what did it is that I started making beats. I was going to college, and then I was like, dude, I need to just start cold emailing rappers from the city.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna make a list of like who's buzzing, who I'm a fan of, who they know, you know, who they're connected with, and kind of like, you know, just like get my studio business out there, you know, and
Yeah.
record them. And I think just from recording the whole Philadelphia rap scene and learning like, oh, this is the sound.
Yeah.
Good. I could kind of figure out how to make better beats. And then I started giving beats to people in sessions. And then
Oh, okay.
it was just so much. It would be like 14-hour days every day in the studio, recording like 3 different people a day.
Shit.
It kind of forces you to either quit or get good, I think.
True enough.
Because you're like, what am I doing?
So you were working out of like a studio then, or did you start
The
at
attic.
home with the attic?
I changed the
attic.
band room to the studio.
So everyone just come up to your attic and just lay some
Yep.
stuff down. That's awesome.
Yep. Yep. Smoke it out. And
How long were you in the attic for doing that?
oh, like 5 years.
Yeah. Was it like up until you moved?
Yeah, I moved to LA because there was a song I did that made it on Meek Mill's album that
Mhm.
kind of happened, and this P&B song. Those two kind of placements landed at the same time as like my friend getting signed to Atlantic. He goes by
Oh.
0936.
Oh, okay. Yes.
He was in Philly. We always made music together. He got signed, and he was like, yo, I need you to come out to LA with me. And I was like, dude, this is kind of like perfect timing. Like, I feel like stuff is starting to jumpstart. I don't know how to, you know, when you're from somewhere where it's like there's a lot of music, but it's hard in the scene. It's like you kind of have to make the move
Yeah, fair.
to jump in and fully commit. So I was like, this is perfect. So I moved in with 0.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, LA is like the hotspot, right? For
Oh
everything.
yeah, for
So
sure. Especially like for production, you can be an artist and just make a trip out there if you want to work with producers, or you can just be doing your own thing wherever. But as far as like production, that's where the artists are.
yeah.
So it helps a lot.
Okay, that makes sense. And then yeah, like so you're from Philly. How was it growing up there?
It was cool.
Was it cool?
Yeah, I
Okay.
liked it. I liked Philly. I
I
mean,
know
dude,
I have a buddy, his wife, she grew up in Philly and
mhm,
she tells me some stories like some wild shit, you know.
it's
Philly's
crazy.
pretty crazy.
It's crazy, dude. It's definitely crazy. I mean, there used to be like, so I don't know about anymore just because I'm removed, but there used to be such a good like basement DIY punk scene.
Oh, cool.
Um, like when I was in high school, my band used to play in the basements and then do tours like Boston, all that stuff, just all basement shows,
Oh,
which was
nice.
sick. And then, I mean, some of the best rappers are from Philly.
Yeah.
So a lot of good music, a lot of cool people,
Yeah,
a lot of
100%.
real people.
A lot
People are
of real
real.
people. Okay, yeah.
We're dicks, but we'll change a tire if you ask.
That's fair. That's awesome, man. And then like so how was the once you were in LA, how was that kind of settling in there? Pretty easy?
It took maybe like 3 years for me to like kind of get my bearings and meet people that I gravitated towards. But it was easy for me because, I moved in with my homie Zero. And then when he moved back, I had, like my homies Chop, who's in the band, and, my homie Gabe and Alex, they all, and now a new one, Chris, we all moved in together. So it was very much like, here's my core group of people.
Yeah.
We can just conquer LA together.
Nice. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, it's always good when you're with other
Oh,
people,
dude,
right?
yeah, being alone
Yeah.
would have been difficult because there's so much stuff to do. But unless you're super outgoing, it's like, how am I going to meet all these people? It takes
Yeah.
effort. It's less effort when you're just with your friends making jokes and
It's true. You just wander to places and
yeah,
it's natural, right?
just accidentally mingle with the whole room. Yeah,
Exactly. Go to a party or something. Yeah,
exactly.
it's harder by yourself for sure.
Yeah. So I'm thankful. I'm thankful for my journey for sure.
That's awesome, man. And yeah, so how's the scene over there right now?
Dude, it's good. Just everybody's an artist. It's like such a big scene. I feel like there's so many people making all sorts of music, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely there's no shortage of it.
No.
Especially like now with streaming, everyone can
Yeah.
release their own stuff. It's definitely changed, which is cool. Like it's awesome to discover all these new
Mhm.
artists and songs, right?
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's crazy. Like I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think it's like obviously there's more competition and like, trying to blow up or whatever, but I mean anybody can make music and everybody has always had that skill.
Mhm.
Everybody knows I feel like what a good song is or whatever, or like knows what they would like or has the ability to have a good ear. So now it just makes it more accessible for them to actually make it. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, no, it's definitely awesome. And like with the artists that you've worked with, how does that all come about? Do people reach out to you? Do you reach out to anybody? Or is it kind of like a mixture?
It's been a mixture. I think like when I started, it was all me reaching out and just being like, oh, if they don't answer, it's all good. I'm gonna reach out to this person. I'm just gonna make it work. And then as things kind of started coming in, like placements or songs dropping of other people started reaching out. But it depends. It's either like people who hear the production or you know, I started working on Mod Sun's album just because he saw a clip of me doing a loop pedal thing, like one of
Oh,
my songs.
yeah.
And then he ended up getting on it and he took me on tour and like we became friends through
That's
that.
awesome.
All through the internet. And we were like, damn, like
Yeah, I was going to ask you how, like, what your thoughts are with social media and all that stuff, right? Especially with artists, because that seems to be the way you try and get attention now, right?
yeah.
So
for
people are
sure.
like really flooding like TikTok with posts of their songs and stuff. It seems like a lot of work to do and
Dude, for
like so
sure.
tasking. You know what I mean? You're spending like hours editing videos.
Yeah. It's like you sign up to make music, then all of a sudden you're a director. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool. I'm still figuring out like where I fit into that. Because people will post a lot and it'll help and do all that stuff. I just think that you just have to decide what kind of artist you are,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
some artists just shouldn't do that if it's not them. I think there's a way to show personality online. I'm not saying I have it figured out by any means, but I think it's dope that there's a utensil like that out there.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I'm not good at posting a lot.
Yeah,
I'm always
I'm
like,
not that person either.
yeah,
It's not natural for me.
yeah, and I think it's like, it's like anything, like you practice doing it and maybe you find that you are,
Yeah, true.
But for me, yeah, I've always kind of been like, when I start digging into the social media thing, then I'm like, damn, I just kind of want to write a song right now,
Yeah,
But I
exactly.
think I'm figuring it out. I think when the new music drops, I'll have like a better plan of. I think it's about just stockpiling.
True enough. Yeah, you got to bank things, right? And then
Yeah, and I think bank things once you've already made the music
yeah,
too. I think
exactly.
it's easy to feel like you're scrambling for everything if you're like, oh, I have 3 songs that I like. Let me put them out now. Now I got to do the content for it. And now all of a sudden, I don't know if this day is supposed to be writing a song or like making a video
Yeah,
or
exactly.
relaxing. But if you make the songs you want to put out, figure out the image behind it, make all the content, and then over the next few months do that. I
Yeah.
think that's what I'm gonna do at least.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Makes
And
it less stressful.
yeah, and like your social media, it's fun to watch because you do those videos of where you're just like fucking around on a pedal or you're
Do that shit.
like
It'll be
beats with
fun.
songs. Like the I Miss You one I seen. Dude, it was so good.
Thank you,
I
man.
love that
Thank
version.
you. It's fun doing that.
Yeah,
I
like
literally did that because when I went on tour with Mod, he was like, "Dude, you got to do a cover." I'd never done a cover on tour, and I'm like, "Dude, are you really? I don't know what cover to do." He's like, "Yeah, man, you got to do a cover." And I mean, he's so good at performing, and great idea.
yeah,
That was
no
always
doubt.
a moment on tour. So then when I got back, I was like, "Dude, I just need to have a version of this that people can listen to." Like,
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
so then I put it up on Instagram.
And are you like when you're doing that kind of stuff, are you doing that a lot where you're just messing around, screwing with ideas? Because it
Yeah.
seems like you really mess with like the cello stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, it seems pretty wild some of the stuff that you're kind of coming up with.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I just try and figure out like what is my way of doing it, and I always find that like give it a little ambience, but the cello's good, the pedals are good, just something to like. I just like notes that sustain over
Okay.
like a whole thing. So if I can make this soundscape, and if it's cello or the bow on the guitar, then I
Yeah.
can build around that. But let me think of like a pretty soundscape to start.
Yeah. Yeah, for
That's like how
sure.
the I Miss You thing was. It's like
Yeah.
just put the looper pedal with the delay and bow the guitar, and then all of a sudden that's the thing behind the music.
Nice. Yeah, that's pretty sweet, man. And like I don't know if it's changed since you've grown up, but when you're kind of writing music or when you started to, what were some like musical inspirations that you kind of came from?
Ooh,
Was it a
well,
whole variety?
it was a variety. I remember in like 7th grade, a kid was wearing a Misfit shirt, and I was like, that shirt's badass. He was also a badass kid. I was like, damn, I mustered up the courage to be like, what's that shirt? And he's like, the Misfits. I went home and that day listened to him, and I was like, well, this just changed my life.
Nice.
And then it became like the Strokes and Velvet Underground and
Oh,
Lou
okay.
Reed, and then
Yeah.
it became Lil Wayne
Nice.
and Prince.
Oh,
My
Prince.
mom always played Prince in the house.
Oh,
And
okay.
Blondie.
Oh, yeah.
Blondie and Prince.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, huge variety. You definitely. It seems like you enjoy all genres. Which would you
Yeah.
say is a good thing to have, especially if you're like a producer?
Yes, because I think that when you produce, like you want to have your own sound, you want to be versatile. So like obviously like people especially when you're starting, people want to work with you, or like you can like push the limits of stuff, but um I think it's important to just never be like, I don't like this, or generalize the whole thing, because there's bound to be parts you like. I mean, so much of music has shared instrumentation or shared arrangement, or something about it. So I think
Yeah.
it's important to like everything.
Nice. And the amount that you are working, like, helping other artists produce or write songs, do you ever find yourself kind of just getting stuck with coming up with ideas? Because it's a lot of
sure.
writing.
For sure. It definitely it comes in waves, and that's when like you can kind of lean on your collaborators. If you're feeling stuck, but you're working, like let's say there's a writer, the artist who writes, you're producing but also writing,
Yeah.
There's also rooms where there's another producer, and if they're holding down the beat, then maybe I'm more of the writer. It kind of changes, but if you're feeling stuck, you can kind of lean on the other person in the room.
Nice.
And that helps to get through that, because writer's block is real.
It's real.
Yeah.
The amount of times I've had just like I've been stuck on one idea and then it
Mhm.
comes to me like months later.
Yeah.
It's just like,
I mean, dude, it's one of those things too. Like, I'll just be in phases where, like, lyrically, because I feel like I can always make a production, I can always make like an instrumental. Sometimes I just won't think any words are good. And then there'll be like months at a time where it's everything's a good lyric to me. And I'm like, oh, perfect. And it's literally just your mindset.
it's true. I feel like when it comes to writing lyrics, you can disagree or agree with me on this, but it always comes to me in moments of just like I'm having a shower.
Yep.
And then boom,
Me too.
the idea. I'm like, I gotta write this down.
Walking around, all that stuff. Yeah. I respect it when writers can just like sit there with their laptop and write on a Google Doc and get in someone's head. But for me personally, for my own stuff, I have to like, it just has to come to me.
Yeah, same here. I gotta like I come up with a thing, write it down, and then I'll just go about my business until something else comes up to my head.
I'm the exact same way. I relate to that a lot. Sometimes I'll be in rooms and be like, damn, I'm watching these people just conjure up words or improvise. I've done it before and it's been cool, but for the most part, yeah, I need to take my time. I take my time on my own stuff.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
For better or for worse.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then like so with your singing, because you basically started singing like when you started No Love, right?
Yeah.
So did you kind of mess around with singing before?
Yeah, like in high school, I kind of started singing in a band. I always like wrote the words in bands that I was in. Just never really could sing at all.
Oh, okay. Which is surprising because you got a great voice.
Thank you.
Yeah. Like the emotion you have in your songs. Like that's one thing I love when I'm listening to songs is like the emotion in it. You can hear it. That's the best. And you got that.
Thank you,
which is
man.
great. Like especially with like a bunch of your songs like See Through or
that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's a great one, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, just or what was the other line there? Last Drag, where I'm not mad, but fuck you. The way you say it, I'm just like, this is great. I love it.
Dude, that song specifically was like 5 years old, 6 years old. Like,
yeah,
I wrote that back when I lived in the attic of my mom's house.
Really?
Yeah, it was just one of those songs.
Just hung on to it, eh?
Because I'll do that with my stuff. It's weird. It was like a whole different song. I had that line, I'm not mad, but fuck you. I had like, I'm still signed into your Netflix.
That was good.
It was a girl I dated in high school,
Oh, okay.
And then I just always had it, and sometimes it would be stuck in my head. And I went to Hawaii with Mod to work on his album, and I just remember the song. He showed me this cool open tuning, so I was playing in this open tuning and was singing it. And he woke up and he's like, "Dude, what the hell is this?" I'm like, "It's just something I had. I don't know if it's good, but it was kind of stuck in my head." He's like, "You need to flesh this song out."
Nice.
So I would say like most of the song was written. The One Last Drag thing, that was the thing that was new. And then the bridge was like an improvised lyrical thing.
Yeah, I like that. That was great.
Like, dude, thank God I was able to conjure this up. Because a bridge has to be like one of the best parts of the song, or else you just shouldn't have it.
It's true. Bridges are stressful.
It's crazy. But the One Last Drag on my roof, that was like the roof of the house. Like I would go out the attic door and chill on the roof, and
yeah,
I was like, dude, hell yeah. Got to have a song that reminded me of where I came from.
Yeah, for sure. And I was going to ask too, with a lot of the lyrics you're writing, are most of them from like a personal experience then?
Yeah, a personal experience from me or my friends. Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. And then like when you're writing lyrics for other people, how do you kind of get into the headspace for that?
I kind of let them guide it as far as like what they're going through or what they want to talk about, sometimes we'll be like, oh, let's just write a song. None of us know what it's going to be, and we'll kind of like figure out as we go. But lately it's been like, you come in, it's like, man, I want a song that talks about this. This just happened the other day. It's like, oh, easy. Like,
yeah. Okay.
You just gave me the pathway right here. Like we have something to talk about.
We got something. Nice.
It's always the hardest when no one has any idea what they want to say.
Yeah, true enough. Because
then for me, it's like if it's something personal to me, it's like I'll probably write that on my own,
Yeah. When it comes to that, is it lyrics that kind of come to you first, or are you like messing around on acoustic or something?
I'll mess around on acoustic. Sometimes I'll make a beat and just improvise melodies.
Okay.
It changes, but a lot of stuff has been from just playing guitar in my room.
Yeah.
Or like a little keyboard,
Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes you can make like the instrumental and you're like, oh, perfect. Like it makes you not, for me at least, it makes me not make every song down tempo, stripped.
Yeah.
Makes it easier because then the energy is like already recorded,
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it'll just be like me in my room a lot of the time.
Okay, yeah, no, it's yeah. I feel like most people are kind of that way, right? It's
Yeah.
kind of why I asked. I'm curious, and then I'm curious your thoughts on this with how everything is nowadays, because it seems like the art of the album is dying,
Hmm.
right? It's all singles now, right? Especially with independent artists. Like you released your last album, like what was it, 2022?
Yeah.
Right, which was great. And then you got a lot more new songs. Do you like how do you view that on the whole? Like, should independent artists focus on albums or should it just be singles with how everything is?
I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but I just think albums are like the best thing. I think the thing with like dropping singles all the time, like it gives everything like its own traction, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But dude, some of the best songs are album cuts for sure. You
Yeah,
know, like some of the best songs are songs that aren't trying to be big.
true.
And it can be kind of exhausting sometimes, you know, when everybody's just dropping a song with like, you know, screaming out into the void, you know, like trying to make something and I can't knock it. And I've dropped a lot of singles, you know, like the last 4 songs I've dropped are gonna be on a project, but I dropped them as singles and I feel like they are like single worthy in that like in the format and stuff. But
Yeah,
dude, like you listen to artists like Bon Iver or like, you know, anybody, the Strokes, like the not singles, the random freestyles a rapper will drop. Like those are sometimes the best songs.
yeah, for
And
sure.
I think it's important to like flex that muscle or like work out that muscle as an artist
Yeah,
because that's sometimes the greatness.
yeah, true enough. Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I always like
Mhm.
because I feel especially a track like they made it this way for a reason, right?
Yeah.
For you to listen in this order and stuff
Yeah.
versus singles, they're always just trying to put, like you kind of said, it's good traction, but each one seems like they're just doing everything they can for it to be huge. And then, of course, there's songs off albums, like you're saying, where maybe it didn't come about that way, but it's a great fucking song because
Yeah.
maybe they weren't trying as hard or
And
something.
dude, I just feel like you get to like know who an artist is by a full body of work. It's hard to like get to know an artist just by singles, you know. And if you are able to, then they're really good.
Yeah.
They're really good artists if they can have that come through. But yeah, sometimes I just want to hear like the down tempo song or like the instrumental one or you
Yeah.
know like all that's like the little personality moments like those for me are
Totally.
like the moments where I'm like okay cool I'm like invested in this person's life.
Yeah, 100%,
You know?
man. Because
So I think the album is for me like the album is very important.
yeah, it's true. I
And I
feel
want to drop like
Yeah.
I feel like that the album that's out of mine I'm really proud of it, but I feel like I didn't understand what I wanted an album to be until now.
Gotcha.
You know? I think that in hindsight that actually worked out as an album. Like there's like themes, there's like a little overture, like that see-through song as like part of Nightmares in it.
yeah.
But now that I've done it, I'm like, oh now I get it. Like
Ah,
I know what I want to do.
okay, sweet. So the next one, I'm super excited.
I'm excited. I'm excited about it.
That's awesome, dude. And then, yeah, so with this question, because you've worked with lots of people, your buddy Zero,
Mhm.
you've worked with Mod Sun, Sick Brain, a lot of people to name,
Yeah.
but most recently, MGK.
Yeah.
How's that experience been?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, it's been cool because he still works on music and tours with and relies on his day one friends.
Nice.
And at his level, like that's just cool to see because that's what me and my friends do.
Yeah.
We all grew up together. We all worked on stuff from pretty much the beginning and just being able to see like that other side of like what music can do and seeing the same people that were with him from the start.
100%.
That has been like the coolest thing for me.
How is every day you just like working on songs, yours or someone else's, basically?
A lot of days I'm trying to slow it down a little bit, you
Yeah.
know, unless I'm like in album mode for somebody or myself.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, relax a little bit. I mean, you know how it is from doing music. It's like you feel like on the outside it's not a job. It's like, oh, we're doing what we want, but because
Yeah.
of that, like we never clock out.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. When
I
you're
would say
doing
those
something
days.
you love to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Or just being like, dude, I gotta make sure that I'm good. Like I gotta make sure like
Yeah.
I don't have to do something else.
Yeah. It's funny at the same time, because I view it as like a form of therapy for myself.
Mhm.
Right. And once I got married, had a kid, music was put on the back burner. I think I went like 3 years without touching my guitar.
Whoa.
And like it was kind of funny because I didn't realize it. I went into kind of a depressed mode, and then my wife picked up on it, and she was like, "You got to start playing music again."
Yeah.
And then as soon as I kind of started doing it, she's awesome for that. And as soon as I started getting back into it, it was like huge difference, and I didn't even realize it because just life got so busy.
I mean, dude, that's the important part of music at the end of the day. There's like so much pressure when you do it to like for yourself or for other people, like, yo, I have to like be successful to do this and that. But at the end of the day, it's just something like you should love doing.
Yeah, exactly.
And even if no one, like me and my friends always talk about this, like we'd still make music if absolutely no one listened.
100%.
Because
as long as you enjoy what you're doing and making.
And we already did that.
Yeah. Exactly.
I already did make music. Sometimes I feel like people still aren't listening.
Oh, yeah. It's so funny. Yeah. Me and my drummer, we always talk about it. It's like, we'll write a song that we're super excited about. It's like, and we'll listen to it a lot. Mm-hmm. And we're like, if you're not listening to your own stuff and enjoying it, what's kind of the point? Like,
yeah. You
got to really like what you're doing.
You should at least enjoy it, right?
Yeah, exactly. You should at least listen to it and be like, yeah, this is pretty awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, nothing worse than being like, yeah, it's all right. I've had that, like when you have too many writers, right? Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Oh,
and then it's just like
too many eggs in the old basket.
Yeah, you're like, okay, I'm not a huge fan of that part, but then you're just, trying to agree on shit.
The compromise can be good, but sometimes it can be too much for sure.
Yeah, that's true, man. And then so with you, I don't know if you can talk much about it, but like, are you just in the midst of doing like your next album then?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like any set date, or is it kind of like a slow, you're figuring it out?
No set date. There's some behind the scenes stuff I want to fully work out and flesh out, but
nice.
I would say I dropped those 4 songs, One Last Drag, Don't Look Down, I Told You, and Bittersweet. I think I'm going to put those 4 out. Like I kind of intended those to be on a whole project. Pretty much I had a whole project done and then went on this tour, started making this, started producing a lot and writing, and my eyes were opened a little bit to like, it's like, damn, like just feel like I got inspired in a different way, and there's more I want to talk about, and I really want to have a project that's not just about like a relationship or just about, it's like, dude, I want a project where someone can get to know who I am, so
yeah, for sure.
I feel like I've been locking in the last few weeks, and I know what I'm doing, and nice. I have a bunch of songs that I feel like are ready, and now it's about the big picture.
Nice.
Yeah.
Man. And then like you said, when you're trying to focus on yourself or relax and chill, like what do you kind of do for yourself then?
Oh, well,
in your off time.
I got into plants recently.
Oh, did you?
And yeah, who knows what's gonna happen when I go on tour? But
okay,
messing with plants, yeah.
Nice.
I blame Chop for that.
Okay.
Yeah, his room looks like a forest, so I kind of got into that. I just realized they're pets that don't shit. So I'm like, dude, perfect.
Really?
I mean, dude, like you get a good plant, like you'll leave for a few hours, come back, the leaves will be sprung up, or that shit might bloom while you're gone. Like,
I guess if you have the green thumb, right?
Yeah.
If you got that, I know people who don't have that.
I didn't think I had it,
and I don't know why they keep trying.
Dude, because you might get lucky.
Yeah.
All I know, what really shifted it is my girlfriend gave me an orchid, which I know has historically been a hard plant to maintain.
Yeah.
And I was like, she doesn't even know it, but my self-worth is tied to how well I raised this plant right now.
Oh,
and then I got, all the flowers to bloom, and it's nice. Still kicking. So I'm like, okay, let me get more.
Sweet.
I kind of started, but I'll do that. I play chess in my downtime.
Oh, okay, nice.
Try and just go out and hang out and bullshit. I mean, you got to experience stuff to be able to write.
True enough, yeah.
If all you do is write all day, I just feel like it's not good for inspiration.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. That's awesome. Yeah, you got to focus on yourself, right?
Yeah.
Have some chill time.
For sure.
Especially you. Fuck, you're so busy.
For sure, dude. You got to definitely just enjoy life.
Yeah, 100%, man.
So also you might, it's easy, like when you do music, to be like, I'm going to work and work and work, and then I'll enjoy life. It's like,
I've never understood that.
You never reach a point, I find, where you're like, I did it.
Yeah.
Because it's just going to change what you want as you
you'll just
change,
keep
and as you
going.
do more.
Yeah.
So if you don't enjoy life, you'll never enjoy life if you don't reprogram your mind to be like, this fuels that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of an interesting one. People like working hard for a better life and stuff, and they just keep going. But I'm the same as you. You
And then
gotta
you look back and you're 65 and you're like, damn,
wasted time.
and I'm still not where I want to
I'm
be.
still not where I want to
Yeah,
be.
it's like you have to like put aside time for yourself or for the people around you, and
Yeah, exactly. That's the
Yeah.
important thing, right?
for sure.
Yeah, you got to do that, man. And yeah, we can wrap it up here, man. But like, I appreciate you doing this again.
My
This
boy,
was fucking sweet, dude.
appreciate you.
Love it,
dog.
man.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, if you wanna, I don't know if you want to announce like if there's anything that you're doing right now, any shows coming up, or
Oh, well, there's an album on the way. There will be a tour when the album drops. But I do not have any specifics. But
all
it's
right,
coming.
sweet. We'll wait anxiously.
Let's get it. Well, thank you for
Awesome.
having me, man.
Oh, of course, man. Appreciate it. The in person. This was a
course.
joy for me. So
It was a blast, man.
Thanks,
Thank
bud.
you. Let's get it.